Thank you for joining me on another lovely day. It is very hot out today. There's a humidity of around 400%, but that's not important right now because from the title of the video you could probably tell what I'm going to do, and that's introduce you to my Mercedes-Benz S500 from the year 2000. Now, I bought this car for around $3,000, and this was about 2 years ago. So I've been driving this thing every single day. I don't do a lot of commuting, but it has sort of taken over daily driver duty on top of the other cars I own. However, no car is perfect. So today I'm going to show you what exactly is wrong with the Mercedes that is around about 16 years old. So let's take a look. So here she is. It's a 2000 Mercedes-Benz S500, and this is in midnight blue. I actually like the color quite a lot. I mean, it's not like I had a ton of choice in the matter, but I did find the car. I think I got it on, found it on eBay, but I paid kind of Craigslist prices for it. It was non-running when I got it, and I got it running for, you know, a few $100 after towing it home. But yeah, this is how she sits. It's just completely stock. I have lowered it a little bit with some, not any hardware, but just software. What's really cool about this car is it has aromatic air suspension that you can lower using just a regular like diagnostic tool for Mercedes. But there are some things that I don't like about this car, and it's not just things that are broken. These are things that just sort of piss me off and get me a little annoyed. And one of the things for straight away is this fender. Now, this fender is, well, it's not the original fender that came on the car, because for some of you that may have read my article, a woman, I don't know, driving an SUV or something, she opened her door right into my fender and it just smashed this entire thing. And I actually had to order this. This is just a replacement fender in the same color, in midnight blue, and there is a good color match. It's not, you know, it's not a bad match. You can't tell that it's a different paint or anything. The only issue is right here. You see that the panel gaps super huge. I mean, if you take a look at what these panel gaps are and what these are, it's just these are not panel gaps befitting a Mercedes. And that's because when I was putting it on, it's just installer error. You know, I should have measured it out a little bit better, and yeah, it's just not as good as I want it to be. I'll probably end up fixing that a little bit later. But that's not really a huge deal. Some damage right there. I did not do that. That was the way the car came to me. But that I may have done because I was just driving it around, and yeah, I just lost one of its grills. Don't know where it went. You know, maybe just a gift to the car gods. I don't know. I don't know what you would say about that. The brakes on this car are quite large. I mean, for a kind of like a regular commuter car. These are 16-inch wheels, so the brakes, I want to say like 12.5-inch. You know, for me, I'm sort of an old school guy, so that's pretty big to me. They squeak a lot, and I don't know if it's the pad, I don't know if it's the rotor. I have brand new pads and rotors, but I haven't installed them yet. So right now they just squeak when I back up, and it's sort of annoying and embarrassing, and I need to change those, but it is a fault. I mean, I don't think that there's any less meat on the pads. I think the pads are in great shape. I think the rotors are in great shape, but yeah, that needs to be done as well. So right here, a little bit of damage to the front bumper. This is just going into my steep ass driveway. These are washer nozzles that do not work. Let's see, this starts getting this headlight, there's condensation that forms inside it when it rains or it gets particularly muggy. But other than that, oh, also, I mean, yeah, you guys have been telling me that I need to clean my headlights. Yeah, I understand this. But I'm going to get some 03 to 06 headlights, and they're a lot clearer. I mean, you can clearly see a projector in there. They look a lot meaner, and I have some plans for this car. I don't want to announce them just yet, just in case those plans fall through, but this car should look completely different than the granny spec that it is right now. The number one thing that I really, really hate about this car is that. Oh, that's disgusting. So this is paint bubbling and rust. The problem is Mercedes have not very good seals right here on the window, and water comes in and it just basically collects like down here and it has nowhere to go, so it just starts eating at the metal. And you can tell like there's one spot here, and another one down there, and it's just a horror show. I think instead of fixing this, I'm just gonna get another door, and that'll be easier to install for me. But this is nasty. This is a Long Island car. I did get it from Long Island, but this car spent 5 years in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. I'm gonna see if I can get a little proof of that. I'll show you that right now. You open up the passenger door and check that out. Wait, where is it? Okay. Oh, look at that. Gargash Enterprises. I guess this is definitely Arab. I have no idea what language that is, but I'm guessing, you know, that could be culturally insensitive. I don't know, but if you know what language that is and what that says, I mean, I'm guessing it says call and then just a number. But if you know what language that is, leave it in the comments. And it also comes with this, the Salik.ae. So this is Arab Emirates, and this is more like it's like an Easy Pass, and this is next to my actual Easy Pass. So it's like an Easy Pass, Sun Pass type thing for Dubai. But yeah, so other than that, I think the car is in good shape. I mean, there's scratches and small dings all over the car. This is again just a daily driver spec. It's quite a big paint chip. Thanks Dad. Not a bad looking car from 10 feet away. 10 feet away looks pretty damn decent, other than those stupid rust bubbles that are pissing me off to no end. And another thing I hate about this car, but it's not just this car, it's the fact that this thing gets crapped on so much. I don't know why. It's a magnet for bird shit. I just painted it. I just cleaned it off just 2 days ago, and there was just like right after I got out of the car wash, there's just a nice nugget right there. And whenever I park it outside, there's always just squirrel crap just strewn along my back window, and it's like you can see it right there. Let me see. Can you see? Yeah, like right. This nastiness right there, right here. Like ugh. And this car, I mean, it cost $100 grand in today's money when it was new. I think it was like 85 or something starting price. And yeah, can you imagine, like, you buy a $100 grand car and the second you get it out of the lot, some bird just takes a huge deuce on it. So I think that's it for the outside. Oh, another thing that's broken. So I can't open up my hood very reliably. So if I try to open up the hood, let's see, pull the little lever, and you hear two little things pop, right? But nothing really happens. And I have to play around with it just a little bit. Okay, so now it did it. Maybe it just does it on really hot days. And this is a pull tab. Just pull it and kind of like, there we go. And there she is, 5-liter V8 with around 302 horsepower, 360 something foot-pounds of torque, I believe. Could be wrong about that. One thing that's broken about this car, or not as it should be, these struts are not stock. These struts are way overpowered for this hood. So it takes 2 or 3 hands to close the hood at this point. Like, I can't, like, I'm really pulling down, and like I'm in danger of bending the hood when I do it. So I do have to get new struts, or just the correct struts. These look like they're off a I don't know, a back hatch or something. And it's not like this is particularly heavy. I mean, I think it might be aluminum. So yeah, I mean, another thing that's broken in this car is that this engine is filthy, but that's for another day. It is a daily driver. Don't really care about that too much. So let me... Oh, God, that hood's hot. Okay, so let's step inside and we shall see what else is wrong with this car, or what else pisses me off. Straight away, one of the things that doesn't work in this car, or works when it wants to, is this soft close feature. Mercedes have an air powered feature on their cars where you open them and then you kind of close them halfway. They're supposed to close all the way. So this, let's see, that doesn't work. It's supposed to be closed. It works on some of the other doors. It works on this door sometimes, and it works on the other doors a little more reliably. So you just close it. Wait, that's closed all the way. Halfway. And now it's closed all the way. And the trunk is supposed to have a soft close as well. That doesn't work at all. So every time I have to close the trunk, I have to slam it. Otherwise, the pump in there, it just kind of overworks itself because I think there's a leak somewhere in there. But going inside the car, some of you may have noticed that this is not the original interior. When I originally got the car 2 years ago, it had a tan interior in it. And as we know, tan is not good. I don't care what you say, it looks dirty, especially when you're daily driving it. Black is just easier. Like, it's really, really hot when it's 90 degrees outside, and you will burn yourself. However, this car has a great air conditioning system. So let me put the AC on, and straight away, it's so much better. Okay, so on to things that don't work in this car. This car is fully loaded. For anybody that doesn't know about Mercedes, especially early W220s like this one, you want to have 8 buttons here, okay? 8 buttons means that your car is most likely just has all the options. If you have 6 buttons, that's probably a poverty spec base model. If you have 3 buttons, sort of, you know, kind of getting there. 4 buttons is the big daddy. This is probably most likely S600s and very, very well-appointed 430s and 500s. I have a 500 and I made sure that all the options were ticked. The only option I don't have is the radar guided cruise control, which would go right here, and there would be like a little toggle knob here to let me know how much distance I want between me and the car in front of me. I just have the regular cruise control, which is over here, and it works fine. I never really use cruise control anyway. But what doesn't work is these 2 buttons. This one is the Parktronic, which is the front and rear parking sensors. One of the parking sensors in the front just doesn't work. It works sort of when it wants to. It tells me that there's a car in front of me when there really isn't. So I have to replace one of them. When you have a broken parking sensor, the whole system doesn't work at all. So this is off, but this is for my rear sunshade. Rear sunshade right now goes over there. It's not deployed right now, but if you press this button, nothing happens. How do I retract the rear sunshade? You use this button. Okay, if that's confusing to you, yeah, it's confusing to me too. Apparently, the thing that controls this rear sunshade, it was from another car that didn't have the Parktronic option. So all these are essentially like the functions of these buttons aren't exactly mapped out correctly. So this one, the function for this button is right here, but the sensor for this button, like this, the sensor letting me know the park sensors aren't working, that's actually illuminated. This is letting me know the parking system is off. So essentially, I can press this and my sunshade goes up. So I'll have to do that. I'll have to version code this at some point. I have a friend that's a master tech and he can deal with that, but it is a little bit of a weird thing. Yeah, other than that, I mean, these are just minor gripes. These are like electronic coding issues. Another thing I have is that SRS light. And yes, it means it's serious business, but it's actually part of the supplemental restraint system. Supplemental restraint system is just the airbags. So that right there, and this car I believe has 10 airbags all around. No idea where they are, but the SRS system goes, it shows a fault because when I was installing the interior, if you take a look, that side has a seat belt, but that side doesn't. And the reason why is because that seat belt was broken and I never got around to installing it, even though I ordered the part already and I have it, and it's been in my closet for the last year, and that's how lazy I am. Another thing, again, installer error or just lazy on my part, this is my ventilated and heated seats. And they're really nice, and they work, you know, really well. I mean, the ventilated could use a little work, but on this side and all the other seats in the car, this is the case. You have ventilated and heated, except for that side. So on that side, we only have a heated seat switch. And the reason why is because at some point in the history of the car that I got this interior from, they had to replace that, and they could only find the button for a heated seat switch. So for now, that only has heated seats, and I don't know what, I mean, other than me just having to buy this entire thing, that, you know, they'll just have to live with that. I'm moving to Florida, so heated seats, we won't need that at all, and I will have to buy that ventilated seat switch. But it should be fine for now. I mean, they're in the lap of luxury, for God's sakes. One thing that kind of pisses me off, and let me move my seat back a little bit for that. So this seat has a pulse massaging feature, and if you press it, so now a little light comes on, that does nothing. Now when I say it does nothing, I don't mean nothing. It actually does work. It works as it's supposed to, but it's so weak. It is it's like a hamster just trying to, like the weakest hamster in the world, trying to push your back just ever so slightly. And it's not a pulse, it's not a massaging feature like it is on the newer Mercedes. That's more of a you know, like a zzz, 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 like that kind of stuff, even if it is air powered as well. But this is like weak as hell, and I don't know who would spend the money to actually add that on their options list in the year 2000. But this was an interior from an S600, so that option was ticked. I'm not gonna throw it out of bed for leaving crumbs. It does something, like on long trips. It's kind of like gives your back just a little bit extra support. It's fine, you know, but I wouldn't, you know, if this was an option on a new car and it was this ineffective, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't choose this option at all. Another thing is this rear view mirror glass, this side mirror glass. This is my second mirror glass, and these are quite expensive because they're heated and auto dimming and all that stuff. So I don't know if you can see it here, but there's like a slight hazing here. Like you see this is the outside, and like it's a mirror, and the mirror's clean, but it's just there's a hazing on the inside, and that's because I'm guessing some of the material has leaked out, just like in there. Oh, look at this guy! What the hell? That's awesome. Yeah, so some of the material has leaked out, and internally or something, I can still see fine. It's just not as clear as it should be. Again, minor gripe, doesn't have anything to do with the running of the car, but what does have something to do with the running of the car is the running of the car. So this car runs a little bit rougher than it should, and I'm not sure why. I think it's the harmonic dampener or harmonic balancer, because this is a V8. It's inherently unbalanced. And you can't tell it from the RPM. RPMs are pretty damn steady. If I can get this to focus, yeah, RPMs are pretty steady at like 500 to 600. But there's a slight judder. It's not as smooth as Mercedes-Benz S-Class should be. You can tell, like if you go on a new S-Class, you can't even tell the thing's on. So here it's like, you know, just a little judder, little rhythmic judder, and I just need to fix that. Because it's not a good look, and it's even more pronounced when you rev it just a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that. It's just like a little like woo. Yeah. So there's no issues with the drivetrain. The drivetrain is actually extremely stout and extremely bulletproof. I love the drivetrain. These things last for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles. But yeah, another thing that's wrong is there are cracks. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. So there are cracks right here. Jeez, I cannot see shit. Okay. So right here, cracks on the dashboard and one right there. Can I get that? Yeah, one right there. So cracks in the clear coat and it's just pissing me off. I don't like that it's not perfect. I want this car to be a stand-in for an $80,000 car or a $100,000 car, and it's just not at this point, especially with stuff like this. I do want to have this sort of recovered and re-glossed, but that's for a later date. This was from me handling it or shipping it or something, but yeah, it's just a crease in the leather, and this entire thing is stitched leather, which is a thing only the S600s had, and I think the other ones had it as an option. But the leather's in good shape, other than this crap. Another thing that doesn't work in this car, but it was never actually an option, is this steering wheel. So this steering wheel is from an S55 AMG from a 2004 car that I bought. It was a Hurricane Sandy car, and the Hurricane Sandy car was just a complete flood damage, just a write-off. But I took the steering wheel, and this is not the same airbag. I got another airbag, so don't worry. I'm not using the airbag from a salvage car. But the steering wheel is fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you have. I just cleaned it off and whatnot. Steering wheel does need to be recovered. There's a lot of just kind of nastiness and fingerprints and whatnot. But if you look, there's like little, a plus here and a minus here, and these are for paddle shifters. There's like little N64Z buttons over here, which are filthy, apparently. And they don't go to anything, because this car had the regular 5-speed automatic that never had a manual mode. This has just a W for weather and S for standard. And this never had a manual mode, and I'm not sure that it's even possible to wire these in. I think when I have the steering wheel recovered, I'll just have these deleted. I wanted to use the S55 steering wheel just because it has this cool little divot for your finger, and it has a really good grip, and it was just a little bit more sporty than the original one. But these are, they don't do anything, so that's something that would need to be addressed later on. Moving to the back seat, here's something else that doesn't exactly work as advertised. So this is a rear AC unit, and it's not just a unit that takes the air from up there and just puts it back here. This is a real AC unit. Like if you take off the center console, which I've done, there's a real like condenser, and there's a heating system too. There's a heat exchanger. It's really cool, and it's very ingenious, but it doesn't quite work to the best of its ability. So now if you turn it on, you can see that you have a temperature display, and you have an independent fan. So you have fans right here, you have a fan in there, and then this is, I guess this is controlled by the front. But here, if I put these both on low, and like basically this should pump out cold air. This one is gonna pump out cold air. This one's gonna pump out like lukewarm air, no matter what I put it to. They'll both pump out heat, but this is gonna be cold and this one's gonna be lukewarm, and I think it's because there's a dual valve. There's like a valve for the AC line, and that is faulty. So I'll have to replace that, but I don't really have too many people in the back here. As you can see by the state of stuff in the back, I mean it's in pretty decent shape. So I don't really care. I mean, if they get lukewarm air, the entire car is air conditioned anyway. I'll just put the AC a little bit higher in the back, and this car is $3,000, so I really can't complain about something like this, but it might need to be fixed. Another thing that really pisses me off is the fact that this sunroof leaks. And it leaks quite badly when there's torrential downpour. When there's regular rain, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. It just uses the regular not vents, but the escape hoses are that's probably not what it's called, but all the water runs down where it should when there's not a lot of rain. When there's a lot of rain, it starts puddling up and it comes out. Let's see if I can get that. Comes out right here. It starts like little droplets and they go whoop, either onto the seat or onto the floor. Problem with that is that underneath this seat is something called the signal acquisition module. This is the thing that controls a lot of the car's electrical system. So signal acquisition module, or SAM. And from any, if you ask any 220 owner, any W220 owner, they will tell you that this is one of the things that goes wrong in this car the most. Just because it's so low to the ground, and when there's any moisture or any rainwater down there, then it automatically goes in and shorts everything out, and that's when you start having real problems. So that has gone bad for me. It only resulted in like a light that wouldn't come off and drain the battery. But I had to replace it. It was around 150 bucks. Wasn't hard to install, but this needs to get fixed, because I think I just need to blow some air through the line, or just take out this headliner, this Alcantara headliner. It's really nice. But just take out the headliner and then kind of blow air out the tube, and hopefully that should solve the problem. But yeah, that's an issue, and it's a little bit embarrassing when somebody sits here and then they just get rained on, especially when you're kind of touting this car as, I only bought it for $3,000 and look what it's like, and yeah, and just a complete mess. One of the coolest things, it's not anything that's broken, but one of the coolest things is in this car is the fact that, let me see if I can get the sun glare out of my way. Ooh, this is cool. That's a cool thing, but that's not as cool as this. So here we have the seat controls for this seat right here, this rear seat. So with the seat controls, if I push that forward, this, oh, look at that. So this basically comes out, and this entire thing reclines because it's on a similar axis. So if I push the top of the seat up, then this happens. Oh, that's awesome. It also retracts when it senses that somebody has their seatbelt buckled. So it automatically knows that somebody's there. What I don't like, and it's actually a standard thing for Mercedes, is that when you press it down, this comes down with a sort of a thud. So I press this down. Dunk. But okay, so that's cool, right? What's even cooler is if I press this button, now I can control this seat fully. So say I want to get some more leg room. I mean, let's say, let me move over here. Let me just show you how much leg room I have here. I am wearing pink shorts, so don't judge me, but this is how much leg room I have. Lots of it. So this is like a premium seat, like a premium economy seat at in United or something. It's fine, it's fine. However, I want first class all the way. So we move that. First class all the way. Now, I can stretch out my legs the entire way. Like just as far as they go. I cannot be stretched out. I cannot be chilling harder than I am right now. So that's pretty cool. And obviously you can put this back and control the seats and everything. This is like an executive captain's chair function, and you can tell that this car wasn't made for children, because man, if you have kids and they're nasty, they're just gonna be bothering whoever's sitting in this chair for the entire ride. So all you have to do is press that button, and then you can you could be a jerk all day. So I think that's it. I mean, this car, let's just recap. Cost me $3,000, okay? This is a Mercedes-Benz S-500. It had about 89,000 miles on it. It has about 107 now. So you can tell how many miles I've been driving in the last 2 years. That's how much I commute. But I do put some miles on this car. I have gone on some decent sized trips. I've been to like Vermont, Rhode Island, and that sort of stuff, and it can make those trips no problem at all with no issues. It hasn't left me stranded. Well, one time it left me stranded, but that was my own fault. And yeah, I mean, for $3,000, you can't buy a car that's better than this. There are ones for $3,000 that you want to stay away from that have electrical issues and all that. But this car is just, if you take care of it, it will be extremely reliable. It's not like a BMW where you're going to have to worry about the engine. Like every time you turn it on, it's a you just have your fingers crossed and it's just a time bomb. This car will make it to 300, 400, maybe even 500,000 miles without a problem. So having said that, I am going to make a few more videos about this car, just maybe stuff I like, driving impressions, and I'm going to be doing some modification to this car. And there's not a lot of mods you can do to a S500, but I'm going to try, and I think you guys are going to like it. That'll be coming up in the later weeks. And for the next video, I will have stuff on the 3000 GT. I just had to buy parts today, and I know that I've been skimping on videos for you, but that is going to get a full tune-up, and it's going to get worked over, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll sell it, to one of you. But you're going to see more videos about that. So stay tuned for that. But for now, I'd like you to like, comment, and subscribe, as always. If you dislike this video, I'm just stuttering like a just crazed madman. If you didn't like the video, then please dislike the video. Let me know what's wrong with it. If I have fuzz in my beard, then please let me know, because I don't catch these things all the time. But I always like feedback. I check every single message, and I check every single comment, and sometimes I even leave comments of my own. But I do appreciate that feedback. But until next time, I will see you until next time. Well, I'll see you later, okay? See you later.